यस्यान्तन्नादिमध्यं न हि करचरणं नाम गोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जातिर्नैव वर्णा न भवति पुरुषो नानपुंसं न च स्त्री नाकारं नो विकारं न हि जनिमरणं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं तत्त्वं नो तत्त्वमेकं सहजसमरसं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं विवानं परिशिष्टान्ते वसदृशिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दमूर्तिं स्वात्मारावं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे वेदान्तार्थविभासकायतगे शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादिनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने अपारसच्चित्सुखवादिराशेर्यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि राकाचन्द्रसमानकान्तिवदनानाकाधिराजस्तुता मूकानामपि कुर्वती सुरधुनी नीकाशवाग्वैभवम् श्रीकाञ्चीनगरी विहाररसिका शोकापहन्त्री सताम् एका पुण्यपरम्परा पशुपतेराकारिणी राजते योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं चन्द्रशेखरं मातामहो मातरं च पितरं च पितामहो मातुलं च गुरून् सर्वान् वन्देऽहं ज्ञानसिद्धये पीताम्बरं करविराजितशङ्खचक्रकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायमतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशमनिशं हृदि भावयामि गोपिकाजीवनस्मरणं गोविन्द गोविन्द जानकीकान्तस्मरणं जय जय राम राम हर नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव by Shriyapati Bhagavan Sankalpa, we have completed 90 Dashakams, the dhyana of it, over the past 3+ years, with a lot of breaks in between. In the 90th Dashakam, as we saw in the previous discourse, the Paramya of Mahavishnu was explained. Bhattatri's Ishtadeva, and especially the Devata being dealt with in this Grantha, is Sriman Narayana. Therefore, his absolute greatness and all other Devatas being his emanations was dealt with in the previous two Dashakams, 89 and 90. The position of our dharma here is very neatly explained with his perspective. So Bhattatri put forth so many arguments, and especially he tops it off with arguments saying that Shankaracharya himself has written a bhashya. Shankaracharya, who was a non-sectarian, who propounded the Advaita philosophy, he has written the bhashya only for the Vishnu Sahasranama and not other Sahasranamas. And Bhagavan Vyasa, who is the Moola Acharya for any school of philosophy, Bhattatri brings him up and he says, even though Vyasa has written the 18 different Puranas, if in some Puranas like Skanda Purana and Shiva Purana, he has talked in such a way that Shiva is the greatest Deva or Skanda is the greatest Deva, and he has kept Narayana, Mahavishnu on a lower pedestal, that is only an Arthavada. And he explained that the various kinds of Arthavadas, and he said all those are Viruddha Arthavadas. But the shloka to be noted here is the 9th verse where he says, Ye swaprakriti anuguna girisham bhajante tesham phalam hi dridhaiva tadiya bhaktya vyaso hitena gatavan adhikari hetoho, and so on. So, any person who wants to attain the purpose of life, which according to our Sanatana Dharma is moksha, the Parama Purushartha, can choose his own form, his own Ishtadevata, and that Ishtadevata is capable of giving that Paramajnana moksha to him. He is capable. That is very evident in that 9th verse of his. So, he propounds his arguments with a particular Ishtadevata in mind. Similarly, if my Ishtadevata was Parameshwara, I could propound the same kind of arguments, keeping the Skanda Purana or Shiva Purana in mind and giving the same arguments from the other side. So, this is the beauty of our Dharma, where each person can choose his own path, and the Devata that he chooses is the all-pervading one, is the highest Devata. So, one way of putting it is in this way which Bhattatri has put it. Swami Tapasyananda, he has translated this Narayaneeyam Grantha, and he has copious notes before and after in his books. He quotes Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, who gives a beautiful analogy for this kind of a bhakti, where you have an Ishtadevata, but in our Dharma, we don't say that somebody else's Ishtadevata is lower, or that path would not lead to the final goal. Ramakrishna, he gives an analogy where he says a daughter-in-law in a house, she serves everyone, she loves everyone, and she does everything that is necessary for the family. She takes care of her in-laws, she takes care of her kids, she takes care of all the guests that come home, and she loves everyone. She has a priyam towards everyone, but the priyam towards her husband is something that is unique. Nobody can be put on that same pedestal as her husband, as her pati. Similarly, for a bhakta, his Ishtadevata has a special pedestal. He is the greatest. Maybe everyone might be equal, but for him, that Ishtadevata is the greatest. He is all giving. All his priyam is towards that. He does not lower or say that is not useful. Wherever he goes, he will see his Ishtadevata through all those. Bhattatri here also mentioned the same thing. Even those who worship Shiva, they are in turn worshipping you only, O Mahavishnu. Because Shiva is an amsha of yours. And they will all get the results because they are worshipping an emanation of yours. And so the result will come through you. So I can say the same for my Ishtadevata also. Whoever my Ishtadevata is, I will propose the same argument and say that Mahavishnu is an Amsha of that Ishtadeva. And that is how that liberal, broad-minded thought emerges. And that is why there is a room for all kinds of thought processes. Or else, this kind of a sectarian view would lead only to fanaticism. Putting your Ishtadevata on the topmost pedestal and lowering all the other devatas is necessary at the very first step of bhakti for you to show that your Ishtadevata is the greatest. But as you progress on the path of Adhyatma, on your spiritual journey, you will have to understand that everyone is going towards the same destination. But for you, your destination, your path is the greatest path. You cannot move into somebody else's path and take up that path. We have seen great acharyas, Swamis like Chandrasekhara Bharati of Sringeri or Chandrasekhara Saraswati of Kanchi. When people from other religions approached them, and some of them even said, how do I become a Hindu? They would advise them, be a better person in the religion you were born in. Be a better Christian. So that is the advice that we give. And that is how we solve all our problems. So in whichever sampradaya, whichever kula you are born in, learn to hold on to that sampradaya. The acharas, the shishtacharas we call them. That acharas which are beneficial to your spiritual progress and which have been handed down through generations. Do those pujas. Follow that marga and you will go far ahead in your spiritual progress. Do not get into unnecessary sectarian fights. Do not give room for fanaticism. Be very clear about your final destination and hold on to your Ishtadevata like there is no one else. Every other manifestation is a manifestation of your Ishtadevata. That is the path that Bhattatri is showing us here. And we have to understand that in the wonderful spirit that it has been shown. Moving forward to Dashakam 91, as already introduced in the previous discourse, Dashakam 91 to 98 is a condensation of the Ekadasha Skandha of Bhagavata. The Ekadasha Skandha in Bhagavata itself has a very unique position. It is like the Gita in Mahabharata. The Bhagavata itself is an Upanishad. Rather, it is the juice of all Upanishads. Nigamat kalpataroho galitam phalam rasam, it says. That kind of a juice, among that, this Ekadasha Skandha is the greatest of Upadesha from Bhagavan himself and from other realized jnanis. So, the first part of the Ekadasha Skandha is Narada giving instruction to Vasudeva, and Narada is quoting the Navayogis giving Upadesha to Nimi Chakravarti, who is the king of Videha. And the second part of Ekadasha Skandha is the instructions by Krishna to his close aide Uddhava. And all these are fit for the greatest of jnanis. So it gives the whole sadhana from the beginning of bhakti, from where it just shoots up to the highest level of Paramahamsas. Bhattatri, in his genius, he dealt with all the stories till Dashakam 90. He actually left out all the philosophical parts. In Bhagavata, if you see, it is all intertwined. Every katha will have the instructions or the upadeshas that are there intertwined. So if there is a Rishabha Yogishwara Charita, immediately it will have whatever Rishabha Yogi advised. If there is Prithu Charitra, it will be all that will be there. In very few places, Bhattatri actually went into the philosophical. For example, in Kapilopadesha. In many other places like the Puranjona Upakhyana, Bhattatri skipped those parts. He skipped Jadabharata. So all that, he brings it into this crucible of Dashakam 91 to 98. Though many of these verses can be directly matched to the verses in Ekadasha Skandha, we see that he has brought in the essence of Bhagavata's Upadeshas within these Dashakas here. That is why these Dashakas have a special standing. Even for devotees who are reading this Narayaneeyam, when you enter Dashakam 91, it feels like the mood is changing. Feels like you are entering those chambers which give you an upliftment, which are just pouring upon you bhakti, jnana and vairagya. Those three things that Bhagavata promised, Bhattatri is just pouring us with those three things. The Marathi Sant Ekanath, he wrote his commentary on Bhagavata for only the Ekadasha Skandha. That is the position that Ekadasha Skandha has within Bhagavata. Similar is the position of these Dashakams in Narayani. If you want to get to the heart and you want it for spiritual sadhana, your own upliftment, then these Dashakas are the one that gives you those instructions. They are like a handbook made for you. But there is a difference between what Bhagavata advocates and what Narayana Bhattatri advocates for us. A very subtle difference. Bhagavata always says that jnana is the highest, that is what has to be attained. Even at the end, while giving his final Upadesha to Parikshit, Shuka says that you are none other than that supreme consciousness. You are one with that. That Advaita Jnana is completely established. Bhattatri, he accepts that here. All through and through, he brings the Jnana again and again and again. But he says, Bhagavan, this bhakti is what interests me. And in this world, I can only catch hold of this bhakti. I am not an adhikari for jnana, he will say. So please grant me this bhakti again and again. Let me always immerse myself in this nectar of devotion. Let me be bathed in this nectar. And through that, may I get this jnana. But let me be always devoted to you. That is his prarthana. Here, Bhattatri sees bhakti as not only a path, but also as the end destination. He does not, in some cases, we can clearly see where his heart is. You say, jnana is there, but let bhakti be my destination also. Let that nirvyaja bhakti, bhakti for the sake of bhakti, not bhakti for the sake of something else. I do not want anything here in this material world. Let me be completely detached from this material world. I want bhakti in your feet for the sake of bhakti and nothing else. I want that sweet nectar. That is all he is praying for. Let us, over the next few sessions, immerse ourselves in this ocean of devotion, knowledge, and detachment. Bhakti, Jnana, and Vairagya. Shri Krishna Tvatpadopasanamabhayatamam Baddhamithyartha Drishte Martyasyartasya Manye Vyapasarati Bhayam Yena Sarvatmanaiva Yattavat Tvatpranitaniha Bhajana Vidhine Asthito Mohamarge Dhavanna Pyavritakshaha Skhalati na Kuhachit Devadevakhilatman. Shri Krishna. So he starts out with this beautiful name of his Ishtadevata, Shri Krishna. The name, the connotations of this name were already explained when Bhagavan was given this name by Gargacharya. It is the name for that Parabrahma Vastu. It also has a meaning that he is the one who attracts. Karshati iti Krishna, akarshati. So that wonderful rupa of yours and that pure awareness, consciousness that is there. Tvatpadopasanam abhayatamam. You are the soul of all beings. You are the Atma within all of us. The upasana of you is abhayatamam. It removes us from all fear. It is the only thing that can grant absolute fearlessness. For who? Baddha mithyartha drishte. For people like us who are bound in this samsara. Yes, mithyartha drishte. This word mithyartha refers to everything in this loka, and especially our own body. The sense of I and me that we have, ahankara and mamakara, is something that has to be removed. But it is not easy to remove. Why? Because there is that mithya-abhimana. The word mithya, it is very difficult to translate to English. We translate it as illusion and something like that. But illusion might seem like something that is completely does not exist. And that is something like that. This mithya is a very unique concept where we have a lot of examples in Vedanta. You have the desert, and on the desert you see the mirage. You think that there is water over there, but water does not actually exist. But water is still seen to you. That is that mithya. Same way, we think that this body of ours is I. Whenever you say I, immediately you identify that this is the limitation of that I. You feel that this body limits you. But that is not the case. We will go on and see so many examples, and we will delve into this Vedantic concept that this I is not limited by this body, nor is this body I. This I has no connection with the body at all. For people who have been amputated, Unfortunately, they might have lost their limbs. Does the eye reduce? Science gives us even more concrete examples, the medical science. All parts of the bodies are transplanted. Eye is transplanted, kidney is transplanted, liver is transplanted, heart is transplanted. So your whole body can be changed. But the eye does not differ. But still we identify with this body. We identify with this physical body. Over the years since your birth till the date, each cell of your body has changed. If you were to look at those atoms that were present at when you were born, none of those atoms are present in this body currently. All of them have gone out through the cycle of nature, through what we eat and what we excrete. They've all just been replaced. So there is no connection with the body that existed then and the body that exists now. But still this person says that I am the same person that existed that day. And so this I continues, but the body is not that I. The body is very different from that. Body is just something that exists in this physical world. It is not only this body, we have greater attachment towards people that are close to us. Our spouses, our children, our parents, our close relatives. Sometimes when there is pain for them, that pain affects us even more than if we ourselves would have had that pain. It is not only for people, even for objects that we have. We seem to develop an attachment. For example, if you have bought a new car and a small scratch happens to that car, the amount of chanchala that is created in the mind is extreme. You think that something is absolutely wrong. You have so much anger towards the person who probably scratched it. He may have done it completely unintentionally, but it happened by mistake. But still, that pain, the car does not feel that pain of the scratch, but the pain is felt here within ourselves. Oh, something has happened. I put in so much of my effort towards buying this car. And in the first week, this has happened. Or when you lose some object, something that is very close to you, you still feel that pain. But all that is just the cycle of nature. Nothing. It should not affect you at all. But still that affects you. That is that mithya drishti which we have. Baddha mithyartha drishte. We are bound to these objects, to our family, to our own body, the sense of I and mine. We are bound. When we go to a beautiful location, a landscape, and see the sky and mountain, we are enamored, we are enchanted. That beauty is just awesome. You see that beautiful hill and it is so beautiful. Let us see you go to a hill station, a Kodaikanal or Ooty, and see the natural landscapes. Just captures your heart. But let us say, on the same Nilgiris range, you buy a plot of land, maybe to build a house, or you buy an estate, which is your own farm. The next time you visit that place, the beauty, you will forget to see the beauty. And if you have taken somebody along, you will want to show them your estate, you will want to show them your land, where you are building a house. This wonderful natural beauty would probably escape. So in all that huge, vast amounts of land, your eye, that mind goes and sits there in that small part, the plot that you have brought. That plot still belongs to nature, but you have created an attachment towards that. You say it is mine, this is mine. And this is that unknown, the attachment that is born out of mithya.
Now when you go there, all that captures your head is what is happening in that estate, what is happening in the plot of land. That is how you start looking at it. So that wide drishti is gone and it has been reduced to a narrowness. Baddha mithyartha drishte. So we bind ourselves to this loka using these kind of techniques. Martyasya, but we are all mortal. This body is going to fall away. These attachments are going to fall away. All the possessions are going to be given up here. Rama tells while speaking to Bharata, Yatha kashtancha sameyatam maharnave sametyacha vyapeyatam. Just like two sticks in a flowing river, they might come and join. And after flowing through for some time, they just separate and go their own ways. Similarly, in this world, we come across so many people, we come into contact with them and we separate and go our own ways. We come into contact with possessions and go our own ways. Similarly, with this body, we come into contact with it and go our own ways. But everything ends up. All this is just nature's cycle, prakriti. And because of all this attachment, you are artha. Martyasya, artasya. The three kind of problems that we have, adhibhautika, adhyatmika and adhidaivika. Things that might come from your own, because of your body you feel pain, you get diseases. You might get pain because of people attached to you, because of your possessions. And then there might be natural calamities which you can do nothing against. You had no part personally to play in them, and still you are affected by those things. It might be war, it might be some political problems, but you are still affected because of that. But you were never personally attached to that. It can still happen. This is called the tapatraya, artasya. So this arti might come because of anything. If you are a martya, you will have this arti. Martyasya, artasya manye, vyapasarati bhayam. Every one of these is bhaya. All these give one kind of fear, or some kind of fear emanates from them. Yena sarvatmanaiva. What is the only way of emancipation from these? Tvatpadopasana abhayata. Only serving your lotus feet, O Krishna, can give me that abhaya, that absolute fearlessness and courage. Completely, sarvatmani. There is no exception. Because I am completely devoted to you. You are going to take care of everything. Whether it is good or bad, short term or long term, it is all given to you. The responsibility is yours. I have no responsibility. Sarvatmanaiva. This is what Bhagavan wants. He says in the Bhagavad Gita. Ananyaha chintayanto mam ye janah padvipasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So those who are completely surrendered unto me, I take care of them completely. So that sarvatmanaiva. How? Bhattatri is also quoting, just like you said, yat tavat tvatpranitaniha bhajana vidhine. Tvatpranitan, O Bhagavan, O Krishna, those that were given by you, instructed by you, whether in Bhagavata to Uddhava or whether in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, the ways of devotion that I could do to you, all the various yogas that you gave us. So many yogas in Bhagavad Gita, 17, not counting Arjuna Vishada Yoga, all that Bhagavan gave 17 different yogas, which have been captured into four main yogas as Bhakti, Jnana, Raja Yoga, and Dhyana Yoga. So, like this, Tvatpranitaniha bhajana vidhine asthito mohamarge dhavanna pyavritakshaha skalatina kuhajit devadeva khilatman. So if I run on these paths that have been given by you, the 4 yogas that have been given by you, even if I have closed my eyes and I am running on this path of illusion, mohamarge, I don't know where I am running. I have closed my eyes. You are the person who are leading me. Then, even if I am blind, skalatina kuhachit devadeva akhilatman, then even I will not slip and fall. Skalati is to slip, is to trip. I will not go astray. Kuhachit, nowhere I will go astray. O Devadeva, O Lord of the Lords, Akhilatman, one who is the indweller of everyone. Here, Avritakshaha refers to a person who is blind. So we are not going to physically close our eyes and run around this world. He says, Mohamarge. So it's a metaphorical adjective that Bhattatri is giving. Bhagavan in the Puranas, he says, Shruti Smriti. These two are my 2 eyes. So those 2 are the eyes for every person in this world. Shruti and Smriti are the 2 eyes. One who does not have one is like a kana, says the Purana. Meaning he does not have one eye. If you don't have both, you are blind. Bhattatri says, I will be blind. He is referring to these 2 eyes, Shruti and Smriti. I do not have time to go and see what all is given in the Shruti and Smriti and then do the achara of all that. I am not able to go in that path. But you have shown me this path. You have given me the Bhagavad Gita. You have given me the Uddhava Gita. I will catch hold of this. And this is what I am going to follow, O Bhagavan. I am going to follow your own words. Tvatpranitan. I will catch hold of your feet. Tvatpadopasanam. I will catch hold of your words. I will catch hold of your feet. I will close my eyes. I will not see the Shrutis and Smritis, but I will run in this world. And I know you will protect me. And your words will protect me. Your feet will protect me. Dhavanna pyavritakshah skalatina kuhachit devadeva khilatman. Bhuman kayena vacha muhurapi manasa tvadbala preritatma yadyat kurve samastam tadiha paradare tvayasa varpayami jatyamiha shvapakaha tvayi nihitamanah karmavagindriyartha prano vishwam punite natu vimukhamanaha tvadpada vipravaryaha. So as he said, from here, Bhattatri starts condensing the instructions of the Navayogis. The 9 yogis are the same that were referred to in the Rishabha Yogishwara Charita. Rishabha Yogishwara had 100 sons. Of them, 9 of them became great yogis. 9 of them became great kings. The remaining 81 became Brahmajnanis by their tapas, Brahmanas by their tapas. And the 100th one was Bharata, who was the emperor. Nava abhavan yogivara navanye tvapalayan Bharata varsha khandan saikatvashitis tavashesha putraha tapobalad bhusura bhugyamiyuhu. This is the verse in Narayaneeyam there, where Bhattatri refers to each of them. 9, he splits them. So these are the 9 yogis that have referred there. Nava bhavan yogivaraha. Who are the 9? Kavihi, Harihi, Antarikshaha, Prabuddhaha, Pippalayanaha, Avirhotraha, Athadrumilaha, Chamasaha, Karabhajanaha. So like this, the 9 yogis are there. So in the same order, they give their Upadesha to Nimi Chakravarti. So here in this shloka begins the condensation of the instruction given by the yogi named Hari, the first among the yogi is Hari. He begins, Bhuman. Bhuman is that infinite one. Bhuma refers to something that has no limit. Kayena vacha muhurapi manasa tvadbala preritatma yatyat kurve samastam tadiha paratare vyasa varpayami. This is Karma Yoga. Whatever I do, in whatever way, I will give everything unto you. And this is the famous shloka from Bhagavad Gita. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturubhuhu ma te sangostva karmani. So, give up all attachment and do karma. For what? Give everything unto me. All that karma phala, you give it to me. That is Karma Yoga. Tvadbala preritatma, he says. So that mind is being prompted by you. Oh Bhagavan, the energy behind all this karma is by you only. And we all know this famous shloka. Shloka of Kayena Vacha, the same the Yogi Hari quotes. Here, in Bhagavata, there is a slight difference in the shloka. Very similar shloka. Kayena Vacha Manasaindriyirva Buddhyatmana va Anusrita Swabhavat Karomi Yadyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanayeti Samarpaye Tat. So we all know, Kayena, whatever I do by my body, by my words, whatever I am saying, Manasa by my mind, or through my senses, whatever I perform, Buddhya through my intellect. Intellect is the one that takes the decisions. Whether this is right, that is wrong, discrimination, all that is through the intellect. Atmanava, there Atma means the mind. Prakrite swabhavat. Whatever actions I do, O Bhagavan, is due to my previous vasanas. Whatever I have practiced in this janma or my previous janmas. Through so many births, I have accumulated so many impressions. All those samskaras might impel me to do various actions, might impel so many desires within me. All those desires, you are the energy behind all of them. So I give all of them back unto you. Whatever I do, that phala is for you. That action is for you. That is my bhakti towards you. Each action is at your feet. Kurve samastam tadiha paratare tvayasa varpayami. I give everything unto you. Jatyapiha shvapakaha tvayi nihitamanaha. So even if somebody is born as an outcast, as a chandala, one who eats the meat of a dog, shvapakaha, he will not be accepted in the mainstream society. Even he, if he has his mind in your feet, nihitamanaha, how? Karma, vak, indriyartha, prano, vishwam punite. So if his mind is in you, then everything in him is purified. His actions are purified, his speech is purified, his senses are purified, his prana, his vital energy is purified. Because all of them are used for you. Tvayi nihitamanaha. Vishwam punite. He sanctifies the whole world. He is sanctified, he sanctifies the whole world. And all of these His senses, his mind is in your feet. He sanctifies the whole of the world. Even the greatest of born Brahmanas cannot sanctify in this manner. Nadu vimukhamanaha tvatpadad vipravaryaha viprashreshtaha. Even a person born in the Brahmana Kula cannot do the same if he has no devotion towards you. His birth is useless. There is no point. This is the condensation of what Prahlada says in his stuti in the 7th skandha. These two lines. The first two lines are what Hari Yogi is saying. The second two lines is what Prahlada is saying. Viprat dvishadgunayutat aravindana bhavadaravinda shvapacham varishtham. Even a great Brahmana who has 12 gunas, 6 into 2, 12 gunas, dvishadgunayutat. But Aravindanabha Padaravinda Yugadatu, he has no devotion towards that feet of the one with the lotus navel. Then a person who eats the dog meat is greater because he has devotion. In Yoga Vasishtha, Vasishtha says to Rama, this jnana that you have to attain, sometimes you might find it in that Chandala Vithi. You go to the slum and go there with Bhikshartha Matanam Rama, Varam, Chandala Vithishu. So you go to the Chandala Vithi, you might, if you find a jnani there, hold a Bhikshapatra in your hand and go there. That is where you have to get the jnana if you find a jnani there. He is greater than a person who might be born in the greatest kula but has no devotion towards Bhagavan, does not have an iota, does not have the faintest idea of what this jnana is, of what that supreme bliss is. If he does not know, then he is of no use. Natu vimukhamanaha tvatpadad vipravaryaha. That is the case. Bhitirnamadvitiyad bhavati nanu manah kalpitam cha dvitiyam tenaikyabhyasashilaha hridayamiha yatha shakti buddhya nirundhyam maya vidhetu tasminne punarapi na tatha bhati mayadhinatham tantvam bhaktya mahatya satatam anubhajanne Isha bhitim vijahya. Beautiful verse. Bhitirnama dvitiyad bhavati. This fear itself emanates from something that is second. If there is only one, then there is no cause for fear. In our own examples, let us say a child is scared of the dark, or we as adults also could be scared of the dark. Let us say you were put in a forest, then you were scared, no light, no person present. You think that you are scared because you are alone, you have no support, you don't know whom to contact, that is why you are scared. But no, this fear is because something else might come. If it is a forest, some prani might attack me, some wild animal might attack me, or some robber might attack me. I might get waylaid. If it is a child in darkness, it is because they might think there is some ghost, some bhuta, some preta which might catch hold of me. This is what we think. So that bhaya is because you think that something else might come and cause problems to you. So it is because of the dvitiya vastu, not because only you are there. So Bhitirnama dvitiyat bhavati. But nanu manah kalpitam cha dvitiyam. But is it the second itself created by my mind? As we saw in that first verse, the second, whatever we think is separate from us is an assumption of the mind. You think that there is something else other than you, but there exists nothing other than you. There is only consciousness that is present. There is nothing other than this I that is present. Everything that appears in consciousness. A simple question, have you experienced anything other than consciousness? Whatever we experience in consciousness. We cannot experience anything that is outside of our consciousness. Whatever is known and whatever is, you say that I do not know something, even you are saying that you do not know, even that is experience. That unknown, whatever is unknown is also experienced in this consciousness. That is the substratum of everything. Whatever you think is second is kalpitam, is imagined by this mind. This is the knowledge that has to be given to everyone, that there exists only this non-dual consciousness. When there exists only a single thing, you cannot even say it is one, because there is no two to differentiate it from something and say it is one. That is why this concept has the name Advaita. It does not say Ekatva. It says Advaita because it is non-dual. There is no second. There is only that existence awareness. Manah kalpitancha dvitiyam. All that is seen is experienced only in consciousness. There is nothing other than consciousness that you can experience. So if you create an experiment, let us say, okay, this room is there. Even if I am not here, this room would still exist. And you create an experiment, you put in a CCTV camera here, and you record the happenings in this room, and you go out somewhere and return after a few hours, and then you see the restlessness. That is what you can say. But you observe closely. Throughout this experiment, when you went outside, when you came back and reviewed the video, did you step out of your consciousness to experience this? Whatever you are seeing through in the video also, you are experiencing those images in your consciousness only. You can never step out of this consciousness and experience anything. Manah kalpitancha dvitiyam. Shankaracharya, in the beginning of one of his Upanishad Bhashyas, he says, Jatamatra prani buddhigamyatvat dvaitam na upadesharaham. These two things is not fit to be taught. What he wants to say is that you are different from this world, or that there are two things. You are there, then there is something in this world, there is bhaya from that, you have to gain something in this material world. This need not be taught at all. Any creature that is born, that has taken birth, knows by itself, naturally comes to the sense that there is something else that has to be attained. I want this for food, I want this for thirst, and all this is any creature that jatamatra prani buddhigamyatvat. This dvaita, I am different from something else, is already known. What is there to teach in this? There is nothing to teach. What has to be taught by Shruti Mata is that there is nothing other than the self. There is only the self. That is why this second, manah kalpitancha dvitiyam tenaikyabhyasashilaha hridayamiha yatha shakti buddhya nirundhyam. Therefore, Bhattatri says, I will become aikyabhyasashilaha. I will start seeing that oneness in everything, that same awareness in everything, that same Bhagavan in everything. How? I will concentrate my mind using this intellect of mine. That intellect is the one that makes the decision that the mind has to stay here. Yatha Shakti, as much as it is possible by my will, I will take that up. Constantly I will practice that. Nirundhyam. I shall fixate it. I shall put it there and try to hold it there. This is the Dhyana Yoga. I will meditate that everything is one, that oneness. I will meditate upon that oneness. But Maya vidhetu tasmin. But this mind is overpowered by that Maya. This Maya Shakti, I am overpowered by that. Punarapi na tatha bhati maya dhinatham tam tvam bhaktya mahatya satatamano bhajanne isha bhitim vijahyam. But this mind will be overpowered by Maya and it will move away. That I cannot just concentrate on that oneness, consciousness of oneness. This is not possible by me. Because this mind is so chanchala. Arjuna himself, who has that focus, the greatest focus that is necessary for a warrior, he says, Chanchalam hi manah Krishna. My mind is wavering. And I am not able to stop it. It is like this huge storm of wind. And I cannot just stop it with my hands. What do I do? Asks Arjuna. Then what do I ask of me? If I sit wafting from the kitchen, I can think of everything that something else I wanted to be somewhere else, but I am sitting here. So these are the things that flow in my mind. How will I position my mind on that single oneness? I cannot. It is overpowered by this Maya because of my attachment. Baddha vithyartha drishtehe. I am attached to everything in this world. This body of mine, all the possessions that I have. So everywhere, whatever I did, everywhere my vasanas take me, take this mind on a world tour. What do I do? What I will do is, Tam Tvam Bhaktya Mahatya, you are Mayadhinatha. You are the Lord of that Maya. I will do bhakti to you. Mahatya always be there with you. Isha Bhitim Vijahyam. I will get rid of this, that complete devotion to you. So this is self in that Dhyana Yoga and be, but oh Bhagavan, I will sit there. I will do Nama Japa. I will do Archana to you. I will shower flowers at your feet. I will do Abhisheka to you. And all this time, you have to take care of my mind. My mind is given to you. It might go everywhere. It might take up its own things to do. The mind might be faltering somewhere else. It might be tardying in so many other places. It might be on a world tour. But I will sit here in front of your Archa Mukti. I will do your Nama Japa. I will not get from this place. At least this. I will use these Jnanendriyas and Karmendriyas to worship you. With my hands, I will put flowers at your feet. Through my mouth, I will sing your names. My mind might be somewhere else in a cricket match. It might have gone somewhere else to my work. It might be attracted to something else that I did. Or it might be thinking of something bad I did long back. I will not care about that. That mind is your responsibility, oh Mayadhinatha. It is your responsibility. I will do what I can. Tantvam bhaktya mahatya satatam anubhajanne. But I will always do that. I will do it disciplinedly. I will do it regularly. This is my sadhana for you. Isha bhitim vijahya. Therefore, I will not be scared at all. Bhagavan says he has promised me, Neha abhikramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya tragate mahato bhayat. Even a small amount of this dharma is going to get rid of the greatest of fears. The greatest of fear being stuck in this cycle of birth and death. Progress. I will do that bhakti what I can. The rest is your responsibility, O Bhagavan. Ishat bhitim vijahyam bhakterutpatti vriddhi tava charanajusham sangameni vapumsam asadye punyabhajam shriyiva jagati shrimatam sangamena tatsango deva bhujan mama khalu satatam tanmukha dunmishadbhihi त्वन्माहात्म्य प्रकारीः भवति च सुदृढा भक्ति रुद्धूत पापा भक्तेः उत्पत्ति वृद्धि. I do not have even bhakti. You have to put the seed of bhakti in me and make it grow. You have to give bhakti and then make it grow also. Utpatti, then vriddhi. How? Tava charana jusham sangamenaiva. This can happen when I have the sangha, when I have association with those who are already devoted to you. Asadye punyabhajam. And this will happen only if I already have some amount of punya in my previous births. May with that, whatever punya I might have done, may this be the fruit of that I have association with those who are devoted to you. How does this? He gives an analogy. He says, Shriya iva jagati shrimatam sangamena. Just like those who want to become wealthy, they associate themselves with wealthy persons. Nowadays, there is a management concept by all great speakers. This said, whatever you want to attain, you have to associate yourself with that group. If you want to become a great academician, you have to attend those particular conferences. All these things is all about networking. You have to stay within those circles to gain knowledge in that place. You want to attain wealth, you have to be associated with wealthy people. See what they do well, what they do not do. And you have to learn the tricks of the trade from them. Similarly, if you want bhakti, if you want mukti, you have to associate yourself with bhaktas, with those who are mahatmas, those who have detachment, those who are mukta purushas. Me, I have that kind of an attachment, so that I gain some amount of bhakti from them just by their association. Shankaracharya in Viveka Chudamani, he said, 3 things are very difficult to get in this world. Manushyatvam, mumukshutvam, mahapurusha samshrayaha. Having a birth as a manushya is extremely difficult. I might have been born as so many other jivarashis, but I have got this manushya deha. In this manushya deha, to understand that my destination is mukti, it is moksha, mumukshutva. After I get these, the third thing, I need to get that mahapurusha samshraya, that satsanga I need to get. The yogi Hari, he keeps repeating that the satsanga is extremely necessary. If not, I might go into dussanga. Somewhere we will be pulled into this world. You will be pulled into getting the Shri, the Shri that is necessary for this world. Artha archana. Artham anartham bhavaya nityam nasti tatasukha leshas satyam, said Shankaracharya. This material wealth is not useful at all for the sake. For the sake of mukti, it is not necessary at all. That is why Bhattatri gives that as an example. Do not run after this material wealth. Run after that spiritual wealth. Shriya iva jagati shrimatam sangamena. That anarthi can be used in 2 ways. It's like he is using that shlesha alankara. In this jagat, if you use that shriya, you will get this material wealth by association with them. If you associate yourself with those who have this adhyatma shri, then you will get that shri. So make myself be associated with those who have this bhakti shri, so that I also get this bhakti. Bhakti rupatti vriddhi. We see this example in Ramayana. Sugriva was not a bhakta of Rama. Hanuman was a bhakta. He was the greatest of bhaktas. He saw Bhagavan and immediately he knew he had to be surrendered. He was that highest bhakta. He is a Mahapurusha, Mahanubhava, says Valmiki in Ramayana. Manasamadhaya Mahanubhava. He is a Mahanubhava. Sugriva associated himself with Hanuman. And because of that, Bhakti was born in Sugriva, and then it attained great levels. Utpatti Vriddhi. Sugriva was doubting Bhagavan himself. Can you kill Vali? Do you have the power? These were the doubts that emanated within. He did not have Dhrida Bhakti. But because of association with the greatest of bhaktas, his bhakti it took root and it grew into a huge tree. Bhakti Utpatti Vriddhi Tavacharana Jusham Sangameni Vapumsam Tat Sango Deva Bhuyan Mama Khalu Satatam. Bhattatri prays, may that kind of Sangha, Satsanga, may I always have. I am here in Guruvayur. May these devotees always be with me. May I always have this Sangha. Tanmukha-dummishadbhihi Tvanmahatmya-prakaraihi Bhavati cha sudridha bhakti-ruddhuta-papa. May I always listen to your glories. So all these 90 Dashakam that I have said before, may I always be reciting your glories like this. May I always be listening to your glories like this. May I always be immersed in this, which are sung by all these devotees. And it is like nectar to my ears, that may I have that firm devotion. So starting with Utpatti, Vriddhi, Sudridha Bhakti. So you have to put that seed in me, you have to tend to it, you have to make it grow. The devotion should arise, it should grow, and it should become stable. Just like a tree, that seed is put, then you have to take care of that sapling for a long time. It has to grow. Then when it becomes a strong tree, it is almost impossible to crush it. Sudridha Bhakti. How is that Bhakti? Uddhuta Papa. It just effaces all sins. It just washes away any sin that has been there. Like fire would just burn all firewood. A spark of fire is enough. This Bhakti is enough to erase all my sins that has been accumulated over countless of births. Sudridha Bhakti Uddhuta Papa. So this kind of Bhakti, may we also get that kind of Bhakti, which is the path of devotion and which is the end in itself. So today we have just seen 4 verses. Probably we'll be going at this pace only, because that is the amount of information that is contained in these verses here. It became a little late to start the class because there was some technical issue. I had to update my Zoom or something, so it became a little late. We shall continue this in the same way. We will not be having discourse in the next 2 weeks, next 2 Saturdays, since I will be traveling on both days. We will continue this on the 2nd of March, and hopefully we will have continuous sessions, and we will finish the Dashakams by Bhagavan's grace. Gopika Jeevana Smaranam Govinda Govinda Janaki Kanta Smaranam Jaya Jaya Rama Rama Hara Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara Mahadeva. Ram 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 Sarve. Yato mamatma bhavasattvameva tato navachyam mama kinchidasti yatha taveshtam kurumam tathaiva tvamatmanatham ramanam bhajami.